Sid in the Morning is over, we're wrapping it up.
Wrap it up!
Wrap it up. I don't like when people talk about me.
It's the Wrap It Up Podcast.
Welcome back to another edition of the Wrap It Up Podcast.
Well, it's edition.
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 It's spelled ED, yeah.
Yeah, edition, not edition. Yes.
Edition of Wrap It Up Podcast. It's Flirty Flipper, a.k.a. Jilly from the block, and Mr. Matt Meany, the producers
Arthurs, yes. We
of the Bernie and Sid
we
Show.
are the producers, and this is the 4th episode.
Oh, big time. We're big time now.
Watch out. Watch out.
Yeah,
We're
bitch.
coming for your spot there, Bernie.
Never.
All right, so let's, as we do on this podcast, wrap this puppy up.
Yes, do.
Which was...
Monday. Let's flash
Monday.
it back all the way to TGIM Monday.
Yes. So Sid had an interesting weekend right off the bat. Ava's
Yes.
birthday. His daughter Ava had a birthday party, which I believe it was at the 9 o'clock hour. We talked a lot about
Oh,
this.
yes. We got into it at the 9 o'clock hour. But yes, Ava turned 15. She's actually a month younger than my Olivia. So they're the same age. We're going through the same shit with our daughters.
Issues, yeah.
Yeah, teenage daughters. I always thought Olivia would be my easy kid because she was such an easy child, but that all changes once they get their periods. They become just
Monsters.
yeah, they become just unrecognizable.
Well, Bernard talks about it too. He said that.
Oh, what he went through. I know what
Yeah.
he went through too.
So
But yeah, we started out. So Sid said that she had about 20 friends over at Anthony Scaramucci's restaurant, and all the girls were dressed inappropriately.
well, it's the leggings thing, but I guess the leggings thing is what we got into. But I don't. Yeah, I
Right.
guess they were dressed inappropriately, which Sid,
Yeah.
in some ways, Sid deemed inappropriate. Which I don't doubt him at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have more. You see it more than I do.
These girls, when they dress up, I can just almost guarantee that they wore short skirts and shirts with their belly buttons hanging out, because that's what Olivia does.
Yeah, bitch.
That's right, Cardi. You're a bitch.
Tell them.
But yeah, so that they dress inappropriately. They think it's fancy and they think it looks good, but it's not. And so Sid made the point, and so did Bernie, that dressing this way, whether it's leggings or
Short skirts or
skirts,
halter tops or
rips and jeans
Yeah.
with your crotch almost hanging out, it can send the wrong message to the wrong person.
It could. Uh-huh.
As a guy,
It is such a tease.
that's what they're called, teases. And I know Sid does try to tell Ava this. I try to tell Olivia, what you wear represents who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mom, I'm not going to wear the stuff you wear. It's ugly, and everyone wears ripped jeans. And so I give in, and I say, well, she's not going to be the only one looking out of the norm, out of the group. I don't want her to stand out, so I let her dress that way.
Yeah.
I know I'm at fault, and I'm sure Sid is too. He said on the air that he was trying.
But the thing is with Sid though is and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just getting
Yeah,
this, that he trusts Ava more than you trust Olivia when wearing that stuff. Would you say that's accurate or no?
I don't know. I kind of trust Olivia because when she says she does tell me things, and she does, and I did find out, she didn't tell me this, but I did find out through my son that when she was sleeping over at a friend's house, she snuck out and they went to this boy's house who I know, local kid. I've known him since 3rd grade. So she didn't deny it. And so she does. And when I do talk to her about sex, she says, "Ew, Mom, I'm never going to do that. That's gross. And I don't even like the French kiss." And I believe her. I don't know am I being stupid?
No. I mean, what's 15 years old? He said.
Yeah, I mean, she admitted to vaping. She told me she tried vaping.
Okay.
Also, after my son told me, because some kid on his track team told him. I don't know. I kind of.
It's right in that age range. I can remember, being 15 years old. So 9th grade, right?
Yeah, 9th grade.
It's like once you can move up to the high school, everything really changes. Not only, I mean, everybody's bodies are changing when you're in middle school and 8th grade or whatever, but as soon as I got to high school, it just got amplified. Everything, that's what it was, is who's having sex and who hasn't had sex and all the stuff that's going on. I mean, looking back on it, it's unbelievable.
And girls develop reputations in high school.
Oh, absolutely.
And I said you're gonna be called a hoe.
Yep.
All my friends wear it. They're not called hoes, Mom.
Or you're going to be known as
about.
that. That's
right.
what you'll be known as. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about that a lot on Monday. Also on last Saturday was Bernie and Sid's stair climb, whatever it was, from the American Lung Association.
Yes, and Sid admitted he wasn't going to do it. He's not in the best cardio shape. He lifts weights and stuff, but that's not cardio.
No, not good.
Bernie made up for it. He did it twice.
Yes. So Bernie covered Sid there.
Yeah, I mean that's tough for Bernie to do 110 flights of stairs.
No, that's no joke. I mean, and they said they had a great time. Bernie shouted out some listeners that were
Yeah.
there. Sid was fond of the listeners as well.
Yeah.
But he had his leg workout to do, I guess. Squat
Yeah, he had to do
workout,
squats on later that day, so he didn't want to ruin that workout. That was his excuse.
whatever. Yeah. And then last weekend was also the CMAs, Country Music Awards, or what is it, American
what's the difference
Country
between
Music.
CMA or ACM? It's called ACM because that's what it was. I had said CMA, so I was wrong, but it's ACM.
Whatever, the Country Music
Yeah.
Awards, where they always have a great time.
Yeah, they talked about that the fact Bernie and Sid are big country fans.
They are.
and they said country music now is the closest to classic rock that we have, and
Yes.
and we all agree that country music you can understand the lyrics as opposed to rap and everything else that's digitized. Country music, it's the American heart and soul, and
Yep.
the boys were. Meanie did play a lot of country
A
music.
lot of country
on
music,
Monday.
which I'm trying to
In
work
support,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't mind country music at all.
I
country
used to
music's fun.
fucking hate it. I used to hate country music. I used to just say those are hillbillies, and now I like it. I love Blake Shelton. I love Dan and Shay who won
That
for
tequila song, yeah.
So that's the kind of country I like. Florida Georgia Line. I like more of the mainstream.
Yeah, it's
country.
kind of like a little poppier. You're not going to
Yeah.
like twang. Like we
I don't-
played that Clint Black. We were giving away Clint Black
Yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
Now he is.
Twangy.
That is that old time twangy
I like
thingamajig.
the new stuff.
Yeah, some of the new stuff. Also, Sid was at Carton's sentencing, Craig Carton's sentencing, which we
yeah.
talked about. Addiction came back up again, and
Yeah.
talked about the judge. That was funny. If you hadn't heard about that, that was good. The judge opened by going
got
to
a
Craig
sense of
Carton.
humor.
Yeah, says, "Hi, this
First
is
time, long time."
Colleen from New York, first
Yes.
time, long time."
Very
and then
funny.
proceeded to just rip into the guy, which
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. He did ruin his career, his reputation,
Well,
his family,
I mean,
almost.
She did give him, and Bernie and Sid point this out, a little bit less of a sentence than everybody else was expecting. They were expecting, I guess, 7 years, and she gave him 3.5, and he's already served time, I think Sid said. So
Yes.
really, he'll only serve about 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, and they brought it up. That's immediately what I thought about when they were talking about it. Was that wiener? Before you know it, the guy is. I mean, it feels like yesterday that he
Time
was
goes
going into
quickly.
jail. Yeah,
Time
so.
goes quickly. People forget. Yeah, but Sid did say that he talked to Craig for about 30 minutes afterwards, and gave him a few words of encouragement. 'Cause Sid's been in the whole spotlight before, as we know, and apparently this gambling thing is a disease.
Apparently, which I mean, we talked about it in the control
Right.
room. I mean, I'm not.
I don't get it.
I don't. I mean, I get that there's people with addictive personalities, but I don't think. I
I
mean,
don't think gambling's a disease, but we can't say that to Sid because he'll be like, "It's a disease. It's an addiction." I just think if you want to stop, you could stop.
Yeah, sure. Also, I'm looking at my notes here. WrestleMania was Sunday evening.
My son watched it.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge wrestling fan.
I did not. It was local. It was over at a MetLife
Barclays, yeah.
Stadium.
Right by you, right?
Well, Barclays was Friday night, I think they did.
Okay.
They did the Hall of Fame there, and then or I may be wrong, but then they went to MetLife for the actual WrestleMania, and Hulk Hogan screwed up another thing, I guess, flubbed.
He mispronounced.
He
said
I guess,
Superdome?
Yeah, I get no. Well, when he was in New Orleans for the WrestleMania, he called the Superdome the Silver Dome, and this time he called MetLife Stadium MetLife Arena or something like that. So
yeah, but the Hulkster still wrestling.
the Hulk, yes, he is
That's
with
so
that silky white hair and
Yeah, you gotta
skin
love
of a hot dog.
And then, the boys talked about that Bret Hart was up there making a speech and he got attacked by a fan.
Yeah.
How did security allow that to happen?
If you watch the video, he was flying through there. It looked like an actual wrestler coming up into the ring.
but then he got pummeled. That guy.
he got killed.
yeah, good.
Killed. And then we talked a little bit about MS-13 on Long Island because that are apparently right.
Yes,
in Huntington.
Huntington, a guy. I think it was in 2017. He was arrested for killing a guy in Huntington, not South Huntington, but Huntington, the nice part.
You know Long Island better.
Yeah,
than me,
Huntington.
so I don't know.
Meaning Huntington is it's like the nice part of Greenwich Village, the Huntington Village. It's
Okay.
really, really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of restaurants and jazz bars and just really good clientele. But yeah, so this guy killed somebody, deported, back, arrested again. So and then that Bernie and Sid were saying we
Get
played
him out.
Yeah, get him out. And
right.
speaking of Trump, we played a Trump clip of him saying our country is full.
Yeah.
We have no more room. And he's right. The country is full. This isn't the 1800s anymore where we did let everybody in. And that's what Bernie and Sid were saying. The Democrats, that's their platform. Our great-grandparents were allowed in, but times are different.
Yes.
So the country's full now, and that's what the boys were saying.
Yes, which is we have reached critical mass, which is a word that Bernie they used in the past,
Yeah.
which I haven't heard him bring up in a while. He just says that we're full, yada yada yada. But yeah, Definitely hit critical mass. You also brought up that Reba McEntire's son is married to Kelly Clarkson. Reba was hosting the CMAs or whatever.
Yeah, they sang together.
Yeah. And then Rich Lowry, our Monday guest, always on talking Joe Biden.
Creepy Joe. Yeah, Joe made a joke. He was up there on stage with some kids, and he gave the boy a hug, and he said, "I just got permission for that," which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Sid also was petitioning to be the Florida Panthers head coach, which is a hockey team.
Yes.
Who fired their head coach over last weekend because Sid has a relationship with the owners of the Florida Panthers.
Yes. And he tweeted Sid back.
Yeah, he did. Sid really wanted to coach that team.
Yeah, and he said, "Sid, I'm not going to hire you because I don't want to take you away from Bernie. I'm a huge fan," which is really cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. And what was I going to go with? I had an idea. I was saying, in the middle of the show, they hired a coach. So
yeah, right. And Sid's like, "Well, it's not going to be me.
There you go.
I'm here to stay."
So I'm looking. We talked a lot about country music. 60 Minutes. Bernard pointed out that last Sunday's 60 Minutes was a great 60 Minutes about some guy from Home Depot. You can now go to medical school at NYU for tuition free.
I did hear that from some woman in my town. She told me that, which is I'm very excited about. My brother went to NYU med school, and he's still paying off those loans. It was a total of almost $200,000. So I'm excited for my son, if he does continue on this path of wanting to be a doctor, that he could go to school for free.
Yep, that's nice to know.
But Bernie did say that there's one catch. The guy wants these med students to pay it forward. Like if they get a client, or I say a patient who doesn't have insurance, you might want to take him, because you had your medical school for free. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know either. You're going to have to wait. I think it's based on situation to situation.
And then he went on to talk about the story about this Japanese guy.
Yeah. That's an interesting story, too. I guess there's some book. That's right up Bernard's alley.
Oh, right up Bernie's alley. And Sid was just like, I'm never going to read that book.
He's never going to read that book. I'm more worried about watching Vanderpump Rules.
That was so funny. I knew he was going to do something like that.
And speaking to Sid, also, you could just to get an idea of his ADD or,
God,
he can't focus. Or
Sid.
So who was this woman, this large lady on Good Morning America?
Chrissy Metz.
Chrissy Metz?
She is the breakout star of This Is Us, the very large actress.
Large.
Large Marge, as if she was a Garbage Pail Kid, she'd be called. Sid was saying that Adele, he can't look at her as if she's pretty because she's fat.
Yeah, because I think you're like a lot of pretty girls have faces,
right?
Pretty faces.
I said
big girls have pretty
Adele
faces.
is gorgeous, and so is Ashley Graham, oversized model, gorgeous. And he's like, they're fat. And so he was
Sid fashion.
Yeah, he was watching Chrissy Metz on GMA, and then an hour later she's on
Kelly and Ryan.
I always say Regis and Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly and Ryan, and he says, I think she gained 20 pounds in an hour. And then Bernie pointed out, very good job. He said, what do you tearing? She has obviously an addiction, a disease. And Sid's like, you know what? You called me out. I feel ashamed. You're right. Gambling's a disease. This is a disease that she has a disease too.
Yeah. I mean,
that was great.
It's all perspective, I guess. But we did that, and then we had Joe Tacopina on.
Oh yeah,
Joe Tacopina talk about Craig Carton. Sid also for you Brooklyn residents out there, Coney Island is open and ready to go. If you want to go ride the roller coasters there, and
I want to go. I want to go this summer. I want to take my kids there.
Yeah, it's nice. You go to a baseball game down there, catch some of those, and then the Notre Dame leggings story where that mother wrote to Notre Dame saying, that her sons were getting distracted.
Yeah, I mean, she wants leggings to be banned at Notre Dame. That's stretching it a little bit.
That is a little Oh, I see what you did.
I didn't even mean to.
There.
Genius.
That's stretching a little bit.
See, I can't help it.
Tuesday, we moved to Tuesday there, Flipper.
Tuesday.
Well, right off the bat, my notes here, I have it turned to the page. I'm trying to find the 6 o'clock hour, but Anthony Cumia bailed on us.
Oh, yeah. He's done that before. He texted me during the show. He said he was stuck in traffic. Do we believe it? No.
Who knows?
That's okay. He's funny when he can make it.
What the hell happened to my...
I know Bo Dietl called in on Tuesday.
Bo, yes. He couldn't make it in. So maybe... I don't know.
No, Bo was up the night before watching the NCAA final. He's like, why couldn't Texas just win? I guess he bet on Texas.
Gotcha. All right, so we open the show here with Hysteria by Def Leppard.
Yes.
Because Sid pointed out, Virginia... University of Virginia won the men's national
first time, right?
Yes, first time ever men's winning it. So
they were hysterical, going crazy.
Hysteria in Virginia.
Yes.
We talked about that, and Bernie made a joke saying the students have stormed the Thomas Jefferson Mansion and are burning it to ground.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't either. Yeah, then Sid did some quizzing. He quizzed Bernard
yes.
on Virginia alumni, like
Yes.
Rich Lowry, who is a weekly guest.
Yes, he got that one right.
Got that right. Tiki Barber.
He did not get that one. He couldn't think of his name.
Yes, he knew who he was,
Yeah.
but he was going to think of his name. Bill Nelson.
Right.
No idea who that is.
He did mention Laura Ingraham, but she did not go there. Bernie said Bernie knew for sure she went to Dartmouth, but she did go to University of Virginia Law School.
Yes, he did point that out.
Yep.
Sid's most hated president of all time, FDR, was a Cavalier at Virginia, and the recently resigned Kirsten
Dunst?
No,
She's still there.
Nielsen.
Okay.
That's we made mention of
Yeah.
that she was also an alumni too. Also, Chris Mullen, St. John's
Chris-
basketball is
Right,
out.
right. He's actually part of my Jill on the Street question.
Oh,
Yep.
that
Yeah, as you heard.
yes.
But we'll
as
get
we-
to Thursday.
Yeah, we'll get to Thursday.
Yeah.
Slow it down there.
Simmer down now.
Also on Tuesday, so Monday, so we talked about this on Tuesday, but on Monday it happened, the Craig Carton interview with Michael Kay.
Right. We played the clips.
Yes, we did. That was a big thing. Sid has a relationship with Craig.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
the Carton clips were interesting. He did point out that if he were put on the radio today, he's convinced he'd be number one. And I kind of believe him. I mean, my husband is a huge Craig Carton fan and just goes on about how talented he is. And he said, guarantee, as soon as he gets out of prison in 18 months, he will be back on radio.
I don't doubt that one
Yeah.
bit. Don't doubt it one bit.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if he starts broadcasting from.
Can they do that in jail?
Well, you got to think. I mean, with podcasts today, they could just bring a recorder in and talk through the phone, and you could talk for however long.
Well,
you know,
maybe we
about
should text Carton and tell him that.
We should try
Yeah,
that.
he
Get
could
in touch with him.
podcast. Yeah.
Norm Coleman, who was Sid's first cousin out in Minnesota, senator of Minnesota, he had the honor of introducing
Yeah,
Donald
the Prez
Trump
boy.
at
Very cool.
the RJC, which, what is this?
I don't know.
I cannot
something
think
Jewish, something.
coalition
Okay.
or committee.
Maybe Republican Jewish committee.
Yeah, and that came up because there on Tuesday, Bibi Netanyahu was running for re-election in Israel,
It was
and
yes, it was a very tight race.
very tight race, and
Gotta keep it tight.
gotta keep it tight.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather on Monday, and then it was freezing cold on Tuesday again. So
It's New York spring for you.
yeah, that is.
What are you gonna do?
What else?
Who else do we have?
Guests did we have on Tuesday? Oh,
Well, we had- No,
we
I-
talked about tipping on Tuesday today.
Oh,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and tipping.
yes.
There was a whole battle going on between Sid and Bernie because Sid didn't think that driving a cab was tough, but being a waiter was tough.
The boys got into it, screaming match,
Yeah.
because Bernie told Sid that he was too much of a pussy to be a cab driver, and that's real work. That's dangerous work, and Sid kind of agreed
A little bit.
a little bit.
Sid pointed out that he's a schmoozer and
He
to
likes
talk
to people.
He does, and that I guess waitering does. You know.
Yeah, and he did say that Jewish women would rope him into conversations and yet only leave about $1 tip.
That's the thing. He said he hated it.
Not good.
He said I could try to. They said they would say we want Sydney because
Right.
he reminds us of our grandson, and
then-
Sid's like no,
Don't give me that table.
because they would not tip him very
Yeah,
well.
You know, I've never been a waitress, so I don't know. I don't
Me
know.
neither.
I don't know
Or
if I
waiter.
could deal with people in that way, hands on, seeing douchebags and assholes. I don't. That's not me. I would not be able to bite my tongue. I would definitely pour water on them, or definitely spit in their food.
Bit him.
Yeah.
Bo Dietl, as we just said, was on
Yeah.
the phone. Carton interview, yada yada yada. What I did?
So hard to remember.
Sid's at his sister's talking about recycling. That was the thing. We got a ton of calls from you
the
guys
recycling, yeah, that
on
was
the recycling topic.
huge. We had people calling garbage truck drivers, recycling truck drivers, and basically the outcome was that it all winds up in the same place.
Yep.
So just for everyone, including myself, I separate. It all winds up. That's really upsetting to hear that it all winds up in the same place. Then why bother separating?
Exactly.
I mean, I hope it doesn't. I have some sense of hope still that we are doing something good and not just putting it in whales' stomachs.
Yeah, what you brought up, that
Yeah.
48 pounds of plastic
40
bags.
pounds.
40 pounds.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that is pretty nasty. And then the 9 o'clock hour on Tuesday was really a lot of fun. Sid was freaking out about his birthday, which is coming up next Friday, and Bernie kind of talked him down from that.
Yeah, Sid is upset that he's turning 52. He's like, I'm really old. And, I walk around, I feel aches in my elbows. And Bernie's just like, it happens. You just got to deal with it. And he's like, I don't want to. Sid being Sid.
Yep, and all about perspective, Bernard was saying,
Right. It's all about perspective. I brought up the fact that Bernie has been tortured for so many years. And Bernie said, yes, when I was a child. I said, no.
Wait
I'm
a
not
second.
talking about your childhood here. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And so Bernie has perspective. He's happy now. He's free.
He does. And then we ended that 9 o'clock hour on Tuesday with Ask the Program Director, which
We're going to do that, a weekly segment.
Which we should,
We
definitely should. And Sid the genius that Sid is,
Yes.
pulled that out of his rear end.
It was really, really great. You all out there got to voice what you like and dislike about the show. Most people like it the way it is. Some people said too many sports, and Sid said we don't talk about sports here. But I liked our Islanders guest we had on Wednesday.
Wednesday was
Speaking of not talking about sports.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Dennis Potvin, who Rangers fans know because they chant
Potvin sucks.
Exactly. Because I guess he injured one of the Rangers in the 80s, and
never let him forget it.
No, we hold grudges as Rangers fans. We also the measles outbreak on
that was
Wednesday.
huge on Wednesday.
That's when Tuesday afternoon, right after the show, because I saw the press conference, Mayor De Blasio called for a state of emergency in Williamsburg, and there's a couple area codes that specifically. And
Cuomo did say that yes, we can force your kids to get vaccinated, and there is a Supreme Court law that. Actually, yes, you can enforce that. And a lot of the mothers were complaining. They don't want stuff to be put in their kids that God didn't create. So that's why some of the Hasidic mothers are not vaccinating their kids. And so now there's all this uproar.
Yeah, I mean, which I just don't know.
My kids have been vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know.
Sid also pointed out on Wednesday that on his birthday, him and his mom have the same birthday.
No, what a birthday present.
Seriously.
Here you go. Here's Sid.
Yeah. Little did they know. Yeah, hell yeah. So his birthday's on next Friday. His mom's birthday's on next Friday. Next Friday is also the first night of Passover, as well as Good Friday. They're all on the same day. It's a pretty big Friday coming up.
And Sid pointed out to Bernie that he actually should take off on Good Friday. It should be a national holiday. And Bernie has been triggered, he said, because it's not a holiday. And, you know, Bernie pointed out that Sid takes off for the Jewish holidays.
Yes. Then they got on you for not going to temple, being a bad Jew. Which we all know is false.
Yeah, I'm a great Jew on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur when I want to take off.
There you go, the greatest Jew of them all, Jill Vitale.
That's right.
Then Sid talked about his interview coming up on Breitbart on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a big deal, actually. Sid's going to be on the front page of Breitbart. They're going to do a Skype with him. And he's coming in on his only day off, Saturday, and he's going to be on front page of Breitbart. It's a big outlet, big news outlet, Republican news outlet.
Yes.
But nonetheless, news people do go there, and a lot of people go there for information.
Yeah, and I guess it's going to be a recap of Sid's career and
his sports career and Sid pointed out his tepid support of Trump. Is that the word he used?
Tepid. Yes, I think that is. Look at that. Look at you.
Whoa,
look at you, Flipper.
I'm learning stuff here.
You are. We are getting smarter by the day. Let's see. Marianne from Brooklyn, we had a cut there saying she was on Stern.
Marianne, I heard it yesterday, so I cut it up and we played it. And she was actually on Howard, and she said, "Howard, you got to go on Sid and Bernie show." She's trying to give Howard advice on which shows to do for his book tour. And Howard, though did not acknowledge the show, he did say he was going to go on a few podcasts, and included in those were Joe Rogan and our show.
There we go. He's coming, baby.
Wait, I hope so.
Bernie also got wind of David Dow, that guy who got dragged off the United Airlines flight a couple years ago. He was back in the news, and it was great timing because Bernie found an article about this woman a drunk woman who got thrown off a Spirit Airlines plane.
Yes, she was twerking, right?
Yes, she saw the cameras and acknowledged the cameras. She's like, "Yeah, record all you want."
Yeah, bitch, record me. Blah, blah, blah.
And then she pulled up her dress, did a little twerk action, and that was that. Also on Wednesday, we talked about Tuesday night, the Rangers got the second overall pick for the NHL draft, and the Devils did, so local area teams. We're talking, a little about sports there. Mooch was on Wednesday, and a clear connection.
Yes.
This is the behind-the-scenes stuff you got to know about right here.
Yes, we tried this new app to connect the Mooch because we've noticed lately that his phone connection is not the greatest. But he tried this new app, and hopefully you heard the difference. And Mooch is always great because he just tells it like it is, and he said that he's supporting the president, but he said he's giving the president advice: do not separate women and children at the border because it will never work. It's not right.
And he hasn't done that. Or maybe he has.
We don't know.
We don't know. Joe Abood was also in, so we talked a little bit about the Red Sox home opener, which they lost. Mm-hmm. Also, Sid's elevator is still broken in his apartment building.
Right, like the Big Bang Theory. Sid pays an exorbitant amount. Is that the right word? Exorbitant amount of rent, and his elevator's never working. And then we had a lot of people call in. They were pissed too about theirs.
Absolutely. It ain't right. And then that was the 8 o'clock hour on Flipper is dying here. As you can hear coughing in the background. And then we wrapped up Wednesday with, what the hell did we do? Oh, Emilio Estevez and Peter King in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yes.
Unbelievable. And that was Wednesday. Thursday now.
Moving on up.
Friday Eve, as Bernard likes to call it.
Bernie does say Friday Eve a lot.
Great day of the week.
Bernie has the best outlook. Friday Eve, and then when we come in on Monday morning so early, he's like, TGIM.
Thank God it's Monday.
I'm like, what?
Fantastic stuff.
so
Thursday, we started off
Thursday.
the show with Sid. He's dying. No, he's not really dying.
Well, yes, Sid told us that he has skin cancer. Well, he says it's basal. I don't know what the difference is.
Bernie had a great line. He's like, that sounds something like some pasta sauce.
It does.
It does, yeah, basil, something like
I'm
that.
like, Sid, they just tell you it's basil because it sounds more green, but you have cancer,
Yeah.
So they have to remove it, and he says he's going to be okay, and he's still going to lay outside and
Without
sunscreen.
and tan
Tough
and
guy.
everything. Yeah, real tough guy. Real tough.
They actually both both boys agreed that the dermatologists are in bed with the sunscreen companies. Mm-hmm. And
like Banana Boat.
I think that's stupid. What do you think?
All right, I'll put it to you this way. The sunblock definitely helps because I have not worn sunblock and gotten burned to a crisp and then worn
you
sunblock.
have light skin.
Yeah, I do. You know, it's
You're half Irish.
Yes, exactly. I do have olive colored skin, but it's a light, like a green olive.
Green.
Green
Are you
olive.
with a Hulk?
But I think that the sunblock actually works. I don't think that you need like 50 or 70 or 100 or whatever, but
No, and
30's
I
good.
read that anything over like 35 or 50 is just nonsense, and that's just to make money.
Yeah.
But I do think sunblock with certain ingredients helps. The ones with zinc, very important, but there are certain ingredients that are poisonous, which actually they say causes cancer. So you just have to look up like more organic brands, I guess.
Do a little research or listen to our podcast and Flipper will inform you on those things about sunblock. Then let's see. I'm just looking at the 6 o'clock hour right now, and Sid was saying that we had the Jew in the City coming up, and Bernie's like, it sounds like a white nationalist website,
true.
you know, like Jew in the City.
It's so true.
It's funny.
She was great. Allison,
she was a lot of fun.
Allison Joseph. She's the Jew in the City, and she was dispelling the myths that Orthodox Jews, Hasidic Jews are not vaccinating their kids against measles. And she said that's about only 1% of the community is doing that. So 99% of them do vaccinate their kids.
Yes.
And she actually told me that any reason to hate the Jews, the media will just, any reason to hate the Jews, they just lump them in. Look, the Orthodox, they're not vaccinating their kids. She feels like they're just giving them a bad name.
Yeah, and then you have, what's her name? Ilhan Omar. I won't even say she's a congresswoman. So if you look at our cut sheets every day, I don't put Mayor Bill de Blasio. I just put Bill de Blasio.
I know.
Put Andrew Cuomo.
That's a good amount of disrespect. I like it.
It's just enough.
Yes.
Go flies right under the radar. She was great. But I was saying, that Omar, she's always, she came out and said like that the Jews are controlling the media and it's all about the money and everything. So
and Bernie also did talk about her. She said after 9/11 that those people did something. Like it was no big deal. Yeah, they did something. And so a bunch of people were talking about it yesterday in politics. So I forgot who with the.
Peter King said something, but she was at some conference and she said that, and people are. She also said that after 9/11, that's when the Muslims' civil liberties were started to be restricted.
That's right.
Which that's just abhorrent
to
say.
She always goes to bat for the Muslims and anything to go against the Jews.
I honestly think that these people just do this just to piss us off, and they really, they just know that they're pissing us off. They really don't mean to say these things, but
in her head, she's like, "How the fuck did I get elected?
Yeah,
I hate the Jews. Why would you guys elect me?
Yeah,
let's see how far I can go."
Exactly, and that's exactly what she's doing. So we had the Jew in the City.
Right.
Oh, Sid told that nice story about him texting you during dinner about his son Gabe writing a letter to the president.
Trying to eat dinner. Sid said that he and his family eat dinner every night together. They watch David Muir, and imagine that, like being your little kids and you're being forced to watch the news.
Ugh.
Like I try to shield my kids from the news.
Oh, I hate watching the when
so do I. I never watched news stuff.
When Sid alludes to him at Uncle Barry's, and I watch Jeopardy at Uncle Barry's, they flip on David Muir's.
That's a reason to drink.
Well, exactly, but they put it on like 5 minutes before so that they could just have it on for us when it come around. But
Meanie likes to watch Jeopardy at his favorite bar, Uncle Barry's in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So if you have the news on before that, I would just do like 2 shots listening to the news.
Oh, Bernie.
We have Saget, Todd, the Kuwaiti model, and who's the fourth one?
Sanjay Gupta.
Sanjay Gupta!
Sanjay!
Dengue fever! Hello!
There you go.
And that's Bernie.
Chiming in
a
there.
nutshell. We were just talking about you, Bernie. Nothing
Goddamn
bad.
Sanjay Gupta!
The good lines you had today, Bernard.
Yeah.
The thing Sid has on his skin. It sounds like a pasta sauce.
You have tomato sauce on your stomach.
And the other one, I forget. We just did it though. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, listen, as long as nobody catches Dengue fever!
We are good. We are in the
Bernie.
clear.
Thank you. Sorry to bother.
No doubt. That's fine.
Bernie, get him out.
Get him out. We had Alice and Joseph. I was looking at my notes here. We took some calls on the vaccines. People were upset. We had one lady who was like, "Don't take vaccines," and Sid
She
was
said,
like,
I survived the measles. Well, why do you have to force people to take shots? They're very, very, very dangerous.
"That's
That's
spot
exactly
on.
what she sounded
Spot on impression." 8:00 hour on Thursday. Bernard sent a shout out or some sort of thing to this Pearl Harbor pilot who died at 103.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, and played a big role in
He was instrumental in bombing
Japan. Getting
and
that done,
Pearl
yeah.
Harbor.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting, even though I flashed back to high school class history, and then I just zoned out. Whenever Bernie, it's so interesting to most people, and he is a very learned person, and like you read as well, like Bernie. But whenever he starts talking about history, I just start thinking about what's on TV tonight. I don't know if I got fucked up from all my boring teachers. I think that must be what it is. Why would I not care? This is stuff that happened before me. I should care. And my son too. He loves history. He starts talking about this stuff. I'm like, oh God.
Ugh. That's funny you say that because I'm reading a book now called Blitzed, and it's Blitzed, and then the subtitle is Drugs in the Third Reich. And if I knew about what the Nazis were doing drug-wise, all of Nazi Germany,
Yeah, you were.
they
telling me.
were giving methamphetamine to babies and mothers to deal with post-traumatic syndrome.
Psycho.
It's if I had known, I'm getting a completely different perspective on World War II history now because I had no idea that these guys.
Well, teachers don't teach us this
Exactly. They don't tell you about how they're hopped up on drugs. So as a kid learning, you're like, oh yeah, these guys, they're just like me, sober as hell.
That's why it is important to read.
Yes.
Like People Magazine. You got to find out what's going on with the celebrities.
Got it. Read up, research.
Yes.
Research. We gave away Clint Black tickets away. Congratulations to anybody.
Yeah.
We gave a bunch away this week.
Enjoy that. I would never go to that.
Yeah, me neither. We did Jill on the Street on Thursday. Which,
Yes.
What were the topics we covered? Why don't they sell hot dogs at McDonald's?
Yes, and also I asked two African American guys. Cory Booker proposed a reparations bill to the Senate, and I said, "Do you want people taking money out of your check to give to the blacks?" And they responded, "Hells no! I
Hell.
won't keep my money."
Exactly.
So-
We did that. We did. Who would you rather kick out of the country? An Italian, a French,
Or a Muslim.
Muslim?
Yes.
We got Italian because of the mafia.
We got a French guy, no reason, and a Muslim guy because what did he say?
They're suicidal.
Suicidal.
Yeah, real. I'm telling you, the people we talked to,
So much.
not a great. Nobody knew who Chris Mullin was, who got
No,
fired
yes,
from
that's
St.
right.
John's basketball.
That's right. And AOC, I said, have you been triggered because of her fake accent at a black church? And nobody was triggered.
Y'all,
Yeah. Ooh,
whatever she did.
See
What?
who's calling me. Hang on.
So we got a call here.
Hello?
You're on the air.
Good morning. Oh, which child? Oh, apparently my son cut some classes.
Oh,
Wow.
Jack.
Oh,
It's Jack, right?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes. All right, thank you, computer lady. Thank you.
Ooh.
See, nowadays kids cannot get away with anything.
They can't.
When I was in high school, I don't know, you're younger, but I could get. I used to write absence notes for my brother and for myself. Now I just computer calls.
Yep, everything's electronic. You're absolutely right. You used to
Wow.
get
Yeah.
away with
They
everything.
can't, and then now there's a parent portal. You could see every test they take, so they can't get away with anything. You can't change that B to or that C to a B anymore.
Or prolong giving the report card to your parents so that you could do something and
Nope.
then give it to them
They come
afterwards.
electronically now.
Yeah, like that. Look at that. Perfect example. Just got to call your son's cutting school.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly came on 8:40 as he does every single Thursday. On Thursday,
Yep.
talked to little Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, and I forgot what else.
FBI spying on the Trump campaign and reparations, as we just alluded to. And as we had been talking about all week, this damn dude on Jeopardy on Wednesday
God.
night
This dude.
won another $50,000.
Got $250,000 now that he's won in 4 days.
4 days.
And we were talking about, and Sid said that he thinks it's rigged
Mm-hmm.
because he thinks Jeopardy is trying to raise their ratings. Bernie's like, what I mean, to have a little faith. Ken Jennings won all these weeks, and it wasn't rigged then. And Sid's like, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, I don't think it's rigged.
I don't think it's rigged either. I just think this he looks a little on the spectrum, like maybe a savant.
Yeah, or he kind of looks like a psychopathic killer. Maybe he's hiding dead bodies
somewhere. He
something
also does look like that. He's got like this underbite, that smile.
Yeah, I don't know, something about him.
But he's damn good at
But
Jeopardy.
I'm going to watch it. I know I'm going to watch it. You're going to watch it tonight.
I literally was like, I'm going to go to the bar tonight. I'm like, you know what? I got to watch this guy in fucking Jeopardy. You know,
totally.
He's been doing great. Jackie the Joke Man stopped by Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour, told some jokes.
Yep.
Funny guy he is. Then, speaking of our podcast that we're on right now, they teased a podcast. Sid, made sure everyone tuned in. It's what all you folks have been waiting to hear. And then we teased what was coming
tomorrow.
up.
Tomorrow we have
Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd.
Come on, because there's a little spat going on between Chris Cuomo and him.
That'll be interesting to hear. We have Bob Saget. I love him. He was on Full House and Fuller House. He played Father Danny Tanner, but his stand-up comedy is cursing and it's raunchy, so it's good. It'll be good.
And I remember the last time we had him on the phone, he came on and mentioned that the America's Funniest Home Videos, which he used to host, right?
Yeah, he has something now.
Well, yeah, they're gonna. It's like a
After Dark
raunchier, After Dark. It's like because they got all these videos, I guess, America's Funniest Home Videos that they couldn't really air because it was a little, a little too much.
I want to see. I want to see the raunchy ones.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess coming back after.
Yeah, he's going to be promoting that and something else that he's doing on Redbox, Benjamin, something like that.
Benjamin. All right. Any plans for the weekend there, Flippy?
Let's see. This weekend, meaning I don't even know.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I got a party on Saturday.
Oh, party.
For somebody going away, I guess. I don't know. I'm a friend of a friend, and then Sunday I have a surprise party, and I got off Monday. So
you were taking off Monday?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
So we'll
I miss you. Oh my God.
We'll have to catch up. You'll have to brief me on Monday, on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll take notes then.
Yeah, perfect. Or we'll do that. All
right, I'll miss you.
So obviously nothing. I'll miss you too. Yeah. Obviously nothing exciting going on in your life. You got so much going on with the kids. So.
I like to do nothing on weekends. Yeah, I know. But there's always something to do. I can never just rest. But that's okay. That's what life is, and I'm in the thick of it right now.
Yes.
That's what you call it.
So,
you'll get there once you have kids.
Exactly. A couple of years will be out of the house, and these times will be.
I told them they could live home forever. And my husband's like, what? But moms and dads are different.
You're right. You're absolutely. My mother is the same way. All right.
All right.
With that,
war.